This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of May 15th, 2023. You ever seen a film or a TV show where a bunch of people have had a really rough ride somewhere and they disembark and hit the ground and actually physically hug it or kiss it? We're going to feel like that this week, but we don't have a whole lot of time to lie there with our face in the ground. Calming influences are definitely on the way, and this week brings several that will make us feel like the earth isn't constantly shifting under our feet, and it gives us a respite from surprises and monkey wrenches and 16-ton weights flying out of who knows where and knocking us off our course. There is a lot of activity this week, however, even though it's so stabilizing. And the first big thing that happens launches the week when we have the opportunity to actually act on, implement further, perhaps inspiration, perhaps creativity, and more likely attacking something from the past. Mars in Cancer, the ruler of our drive, is in an easy flow with Neptune, the bringer of transcendence and inspiration, and the cosmic fog machine. During Mars's time in Gemini, 6.5 months or so, starting last August, he had really challenging meetings with Neptune, squared Neptune 3 times, pumping up the cosmic fog machine, escalating the gaslighting. And now he's in a position to do something about that. Watch the collective news. My money's on something happening with that. Immediately afterwards, the sense of stability creeps over us. Jupiter moves into Taurus on the 16th. For the first time in 12 years, it will spend an unbroken 12 months in this sign, amplifying all of the earthly, worldly, resource-driven, sensual, creature comfort aspects of our existence. The first thing Jupiter does as soon as he gets through the door into Taurus is square Pluto in Aquarius. Jupiter is the guy who increases any action he gets near. And if you have wondered what in the world Pluto in Aquarius could possibly mean for you personally, if you haven't seen since Pluto moved into that sign at the end of March, what it means for you in terms of a redrawing of lines in your friendships or changing your relationship with technology. This is going to create something so cartoonishly large, you're going to see what it means. No need to fear it, just look for it and go, oh, so that's where I'm heading. Immediately after that, on the 18th and 19th, we have two opportunity aspects that invite us to ease up on ourselves, to forgive ourselves, to treat ourselves with a little more compassion and kindness, the Sun sextiling Neptune, and also to calm down our thinking, to bring some structure to ideas, to maybe commit to something that has come up in the recent Mercury retrograde when Mercury sextiles Saturn on the new moon in Taurus, also on the 19th. This encourages paying attention to the physicality of your existence, to the material resources around you, to what you are building in a way that you can actually consume and take to the bank. For a change, this lunation doesn't have a whole bunch of disruptive aspects stirring things up. Instead, it is oriented toward taking action toward the future, intensifying, selecting which seeds, plans, intentions, goals, projects you want to actually put your time and energy into. It's extraordinarily future-oriented. Pluto plays a role in it, and since Pluto is just at the very beginning of the sign that it's going to travel through 2044, whatever you start now has the potential to have an extremely long life. Amidst this atmosphere of grounding and paying attention to what's around you and how your body feels, and maybe resting more than you have allowed yourself, there is a fire kicking back inside of you as Mars moves into Leo. Mars, the ruler of our drive, the cosmic first responder, the planetary action hero, moves into the sign of self-expression, inviting flair, drama, grand gestures, encouraging putting yourself forward, putting yourself center stage. And as soon as Mars makes this shift, it's in a challenging aspect to Pluto in Aquarius. Every planet that changes signs is going to have a little meetup with Pluto on one side or the other of the doorway. You might feel a tiny bit frustrated, as if some things that you want to have in your life can't really quite happen just yet. You may just get a long-term, long-distance perspective on where things are heading for you. And put in the back of your mind, Mars's shift into this sign is starting to tee up dealing with what the lunar eclipses in Scorpio earlier in May and in Taurus last November meant in your life. That'll come to the fore in June. Just be aware that it is building. And the week ends with one other influence encouraging us to get up from the couch. That is the sun moving into Gemini, bringing some lightness into the atmosphere, a desire to have lots of different interests to pursue, many things at once, to joke, to make light, to hang out with a bunch of people, to change your mind. Try this, try that. But as soon as the sun gets through the doorway, it has a meeting with, what did I say? Pluto. This is an easy one. It's a trine, an easy flow, similar to when Venus moved into Gemini on April 10th and immediately trined Pluto. I had a little video up about that. So even though there's a general lightheartedness and a nimbleness of mind and conversation and a lot of talk, Pluto's involvement intensifies some of it and brings a lot of stuff into the forefront that normally Gemini wouldn't be thinking about or looking at. Black humor, laughing about death, making light of really horrible things, that's possible. Being aware of the finite nature of time and especially your own life. Being aware of mortality as you dart around. That is highly probable. Carpe diem, my friends. Seize the day. Homing thought of the week. Be here now. Song of the week, I have two, Coconut Oil by Lizzo and New Day Dawning by Winona Judd. And the image of the week is checking the balance in your bank account. You'll find more about this in my forecast for the Taurus new moon. Note that it is not an eclipse, which is already posted at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and get a Jupiter in Taurus guide as a thank you, and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host the show Celestial Compass on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. And this week, my guest is Andrew Ifandis, Greek astrologer with a knack for moon forecasts. And we're going to talk about eclipses. I also host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, including an introduction to Pluto in Aquarius and some timeline pointers for navigating the eclipses. And I'm deeply grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.